Very interesting story that one of your branches down in Eufaula, they did bring a complaint to the attention of the city down there, and the city council investigated, and I'm assuming they must have called in the attorney general or somebody. They brought somebody in, and they did the investigation and found that there was some irregularities within the police department.
That's right. That's right. And what that's going to cause is what? Cohesion between the community and law enforcement. See, now you have a police chief and the mayor and a police department that's full of integrity. So you won't have all the problems and the resistance of arrest and all these different groups jumping out. Oh, you touched my child. No, you won't have that now, because we know that this police department, come on now, this police is working with integrity, even to the point of addressing corruption wherever it may lie.
Right. Well, I tell you what, I am praying because, as you know, Charles Moss is scheduled to address the Lineville City Council tomorrow evening at 5:30, and we are just praying that, the result will bring about some cohesiveness there in that community.
Well, we're hoping, because, we got different organizations out there that are really, really jumping on our coattail, that want to be involved with everything we do. You got my brother, my biological brother, Reverend Al Sharpton's organization. You got the NAACP. You got the ADC, Alabama Democratic Conference.
That's
you got the SCC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. You got the Urban League. You got all these different organizations who are vying for me to hold positions within their organization. And we know that some of it is actually legit, but we mainly know that the reason why is because they see the mark what T.O.P.S is doing, and that people are tired of corruption, and they don't care who it's coming from.
That's
the good, the bad, or the ugly, and people are trying to get to a point to where we can all live in this society as one, and safe, and be free, and be whole, and be protected together.
Yes. And I think that's what we all want, because I think what I think is that the majority of citizens, all they want is to be able to live out the dream that's expressed in our Constitution and other places: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And equality and fairness for all. One of the things that we just discussed, and I'll let you go, Ms. Fraser. One of the things that we just discussed in New Mexico is, why is our jails and prisons filled up at almost 90% of African Americans, black men and women, when, we're minority, only 26% of the general population.
Exactly.
So we make up almost 90% of the prison population.
Something wrong with those figures.
We're locking people up and spending anywhere from $13,000 to $29,000 a year of tax dollars to keep somebody incarcerated for drug charges, for possessions that have an addiction, when we could spend anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 to get them treatment. Why are we spending money like that? Any businessman would look at the prison industrial complex. Any businessman would look at the way we're going in deficit and not feeding our hungry and our poor people. Martin Luther King did a poor people's march, and why are we still going through it right now in 2010? Anybody would look at the deficit in our children by creating the laws and different ordinances that causes us not to be able to discipline our children in such a way that we can stop them from becoming statistics, becoming criminals, becoming something that somebody is scared of, instead of becoming productive citizens. Let me say this before I go. I don't consider a productive citizen a person that got a good job, a good house, and a nice car. That's the productive citizen. That's not a productive citizen. That's somebody making it. It says in the Bible, every seed produces of his own kind. I consider a productive citizen a person that produces productive citizens out of those that they consider unproductive.
All right. You gonna make me shout in a minute.
Come on now. I don't consider a great leader that do great things. Since I've been out myself, and we done been doing this for 8 years. I done great things. God and opportunity causes great things to happen.
Right.
Oh, come on now, with or without you.
Yes.
A great leader is one that produces great leaders amongst himself.
That's right. That is so, that makes all the sense in the world.
So if we really productive citizens, if we really are productive people in this society, then who are we producing? Huh? If we became a society to produce a prison industrial complex where we got over 2.3 million people locked up, have we become a productive society where we are less than 100,000 people than any other country, and we got over 100,000 people more than any other country? Have we become, good God Almighty, have we become a society?
Ooh, my Lord. I have to say no.
And terrorists and all this kind of stuff. When are we going to get back to the productivity that God made us to be? This is our ministry. Somebody got to say restore. We got to restore. We got to go back and get something right somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, that's what TOPS is about. TOPS is addressing the problem from the ground, not from the top down. TOPS is addressing it from the bottom up. Because once we address it from the bottom, once we pull up the poor areas, once we pull up the poor communities, then guess what? We will build up the ones that's already looking good.
That's all right. Well, I tell you what, Pastor Glasgow, you have just really enlighten me. I'm telling you, I feel so honored just to say I know you.
Amen. That's the vision that God gave me, and that's our calling. So no one should be threatened by it. Everybody should be happy about it. Everybody should be glad that there's a ministry and people out here that see the call and are getting out there committing to action to try to make it safe and better for all.
For everybody. That's right. So then basically what I'm also hearing you saying is that what your leaders over in Clay County are doing, they are right on point. Because we have to restore. We have to work on restoration in order to make productive citizens.
That's it. That's what we got to do. We got to restore. See, let me tell you something. One of the things that I looked at is that just as many people as there are out there that believe in keeping people down and capitalism, imperialism, and all that, there's just as many people out there that's ready for everybody to have equality, fairness across the board.
That's all right.
What we must do.
And that's what we got to have, and we got to make that happen.
Amen.
We have to make that happen.
Well, I thank God for what y'all doing up there in Clay County, Reverend Charles Burney, General Moss. I thank God we're in behind them as much as we can. We got plenty of people that's in behind us and support us as much as they can. And let's just proceed with the work. And then we just pray that those that they may address that's in these positions, as far as law enforcement or judges or whoever, that they will look at the ministry of TOPS, the Ordinary People Society, and see it as an avenue, an instrument, a tool, and a vessel that's doing good, and that they will join in and meet halfway and meet some of the way to build that cohesion that we have lost somewhere, where we could work things out amongst ourselves in our own towns, in our own little places, where it won't have to be blasted out across the nation and bring bad images on Alabama or little towns like Dothan or Clay County, anywhere else, but that they will look at it and say, this is our community. These are our people. Let's work this out. And God said, let us reason together.
Let's reason together. That's what it's all about. Yes,
God bless you, Miss Franklin. I got to go.
God bless you, Pastor Glasgow, and thank you so much for taking some time.